Minasan konnichiwa und welcome. And today I'm doing another reading for you guys. But this time it's going to be on the classic tale, Jack and the Beanstalk. But instead of the traditional old-fashioned way, my take on Jack and the Beanstalk is going to take place in the New Jersey hood. Well, pretty much like Jersey City or Camden, New Jersey. Or as the New Jerseyans pronounce it as New Jersey. Let's begin, shall we? Our story begins with a little boy named Jack, portrayed by Chris Tucker, living in the rough part of the neighborhood with his mother Wendy, portrayed by Wendy with an I from Happiness and Sweet Tea. You know, hello, Wendy with an I here. So, one particular morning, Wendy told Jack to sell the cow, for money, because they lived in the poorest section of the neighborhood, like Jersey City or Camden, New Jersey. Home of the Aguatines, Frylock, Meatwad, Master Shake, and Carl Bertanananowski. Trust me, I've watched a lot of Aguatine Hunger Force. So, Jack did as his mother told him. Remember, Jack, that cow's like worth like $200 at the market. I know what I'm doing, Mom. But then, unexpectedly, he came across a stranger wearing a trench coat who seems to resemble Robert Stack from Unsolved Mysteries. Hey, kid, I got some really wonderful goods for you. What kind of goods do you got, sir? These magic beans. Oh, yeah. Tell you that these magic beans will help with you and your mom. I'll take them. But then, later that night, Wendy really got angry at Jack for selling the cow for magic beans. Jack, what were you thinking? I thought the beans were gonna really bring us a lot of fortune. The heck with that! So Wendy pretty much threw the beans outside in the roughest part of the neighborhood, like Jersey City or Camden. Well, it started to rain that night. And then by morning, that beanstalk appeared out of nowhere. Apparently because those beans truly were a magical sight to behold. And none of the news reports even reported the beanstalk. One of those odd sightings like Ogopogo, the Canadian version of the Loch Ness Monster. Jack and his mom Wendy were truly amazed by the giant beanstalk. And Jack decided to climb up the beanstalk to see what was really up there. Jack, be careful out there. Don't worry, Mom. I got it all under control. When Jack climbed on top to the very tip top of the beanstalk, he found a world that he has never seen before. A giant castle with probably giant-sized things, like giant-sized couches and giant-sized bathtubs. So Jack came knocking at the door, and he saw that there were actually people living in there. And the person that came knocking at the door was actually a woman. And it's actually the giant's wife, portrayed by Jane Seymour.
Oh, what brings you here to this castle? I've come to explore the place, but I have a feeling that there are some suspicious activities going on. Well, you see, kid, my husband is a very aggressive giant. And he gets really aggressive whenever someone visits.
Then we heard some stomping and chomping around the floor. And then the giant actually made an appearance. And this giant is really big in stature. And this giant is portrayed by Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah, it's the Macho Man Randy Savage. Snap into a Slim Jim. 3, 5, 4, fun. I smelled the blood of a New Joycean. So, the Macho Man Randy Savage giant was pretty much trying to ransack the place to find Jack. But his wife actually tried to make him calm down by eating Swedish meatballs with Brazilian papaya. And the giant really was chowing down on the Swedish meatballs with Brazilian papaya. Every last bite from the first Swedish meatball to the last piece of the egg noodle.
Wow, look at that golden goose. I better get this poor thing out of there. He seems very angry, man.
Maybe they're in that Cirque du Soleil or something. That golden goose is portrayed by George Carlin. Hey, what do you think you're doing?
I'm taking you home, Goose.
Cut that out. So, Jack climbed down the beanstalk and finally made it home to safety with his mother, Wendy.
Oh, Jack, I thought I would never see you again. Oh, and Mom, look what I brought back. A golden goose. Ah, ah.
So, the next morning, Jack climbed up the beanstalk again and came across the giant's wife again while she was watching Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, as in the Japanese dubbed version with German subtitles, and vice versa, which is the German dub track with Japanese subtitles.
Oh, what is it now, boy? I was watching Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. Down a bit and cooking some recipes like the Pioneer Woman. I'm Ray Drummond. I'm a photographer, vlogger, mother, and I'm an accidental country girl. Here's what's happening on the ranch. Welcome to my frontier. For recipes from this episode, go to foodnetwork.com/pioneerwoman. Well, dearie, I was wondering if you had some good food in the house. Come with me. I've got some turkey waiting for you in the oven. Turkey? Why didn't you say so? I'm starving. I'm famished.
But then the giant sensed his presence yet again. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of a New Jerseyan. Before the giant would cause any destruction again, his wife, his Jane Seymour style wife, fed him KFC fried chicken with mashed taters and gravy, and some General Tso's chicken from one of those Chinese buffet places, one of those all-you-can-eat buffets that he goes to every single week. To get his Chinese food fix.
Dear husband, you better calm yourself down before you have a heart attack.
I guess you're right, dearie. I'm still the cream of the crop of world wrestling entertainment. Ooh, yeah! And then Jack unexpectedly found like $300 billion on the table.
Wow, that's a lot of money to buy more food for the house. I better collect as much as I can.
So Jack climbed down the beanstalk yet again with $300 million in hand. And boy, did Jack and his mom, Wendy, really were happy to see each other again.
Oh, Jack, I thought I lost you again. And look what I brought home, Mom. Holy moly, $300 million? That's enough to even buy you a Nintendo Switch or an Xbox One.
Okay, that should be the end of part 1 of my reading on Jack and the Beanstalk. Stay tuned for part 2 as I continue the story. And I'll be right back after these messages, so stay tuned. And don't touch that dial.